Hi everyone! Today we're going to learn a little bit more about the radius and the diameter in the circle. So in today's lesson, we're going to learn how to measure a radius, how to find the length of the diameter when we know the length of the radius, and how to find the length of the radius when we know the length of the diameter. Alright? So can you remember what the difference is between the radius and the diameter? You can pause the video now to just try to remember what's the difference, what's the radius and what's the diameter. So the radius is any straight line from the center point to the circumference, and the diameter is a straight line that goes from one side of the circle to the other and passes through the center point. That's really important that it has to pass through the center point. So I want you to take a look at the two pictures here and which of these two pictures shows the radius and which shows the diameter. So what does A show and what does B show? You can pause the video and have a little think about it. So A showed the radius and B showed the diameter. Now we're going to watch a little video on how to measure the length of the radius.
Hi everyone, so today we are going to find out how we can measure our radius when we have our circle drawn for us. Okay, so as you can see here, I have my circle drawn and I have my midpoint. And if you can remember what the edge of our circle is called, it's called the circumference. So we know that our radius is the distance from my center point to my circumference. So how we measure that is really easy, and I'm sure you all know how to do it already. Is we get our ruler, we find the zero on our ruler, the line with our zero, and we line that up exactly with our center point. So as you can see here, it's lined up with my center point exactly. And I can see the distance from my center point to my circumference is exactly 5 centimeters. If you can see there, 5 centimeters exactly. If I want to now, I could draw my radius. And there you go. Really easy. So we put our ruler, our zero at our center point. We could draw another one here because we know that all radii are the exact same length. So if I do it again here, I put my zero, the line for my zero at my center point, line it up exactly, make sure it's in the exact right place in the middle of our center point. And you can see here, I'm going to draw my line again, but you can see here it's 5 centimeters again. Okay, and we'll just do one more just to prove that all radii are the exact same length. Let's see, we'll do it this direction. So I've got my center point, I've got my zero on my ruler, I'm going to line it up really carefully, and I'm going to draw my line, and I can see here that it stops at 5 centimeters on the circumference. So the radius of this circle is 5 centimeters.
Okay, so now we want to find out how do we find the diameter when we know what the radius is. When we know, you see in our picture here, we have a circle that has a radius of 5 centimeters. Well, we know that a diameter is made up of 2 radii. So if I wanted to draw the diameter for this circle, I have half of it drawn already. I just keep going to the other side of the circumference. Because remember, our diameter is a straight line that goes from one side of the circumference, passes through the center point, and goes to the other side of the circumference. So if we know what our radius is, all we have to do is multiply it by 2 to find the length of our diameter, because we know that our diameter is made up of 2 radii together. So in this case, our radius is 5 centimeters. So if we want to know what our diameter is, all we have to do is multiply it by 2. And we all know our 2 times tables, so it should be really easy. So I want you to pause the video now and find the diameter of each of these circles. So for A, B and C, you can see that we have radii of 4 centimeters, 8 centimeters and 3 centimeters. And these are our answers here. You can correct them yourselves. Now we want to find out how do we find the length of the radius if we already know what the length of the diameter is. Well, it's sort of like the opposite of what we just did. So we can see here that we have a diameter of 8 centimeters. We already found out that a diameter is 2 times the length of our radius. So this is 2 radii together. So if we added both of these radii, we're going to get 8 centimeters. So all we have to do is divide our diameter by 2. We have to half our diameter because our diameter is 2 times the length of a radius. So we have 2 radii. To find the length of 1 radius, we're going to divide it by 2. Okay? So again, I just want you to pause the video now and find the radius of each of these circles, because we have diameters written for us this time. We have circles that have diameters of 18 centimeters, 10 centimeters, and 14 centimeters. So pause the video now and give these a go. And here are your answers here. You can correct them yourselves. Great job, everyone!